Hi my loves, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Bethany and I am the Yogi Witch, and welcome back to this brand new YouTube yoga flow where today we are looking at the hips, at the hamstrings, hence the title Happy Hips. And this is the ideal yoga flow. I'm sorry again, I'm squinting you. This is the ideal yoga flow if you are a runner or you work out a lot or you've been stuck at your desk all day and you feel all that stagnant energy at the top of your hips, the glutes, the lower spine. So you might need some props for this. I have got some blocks, I've got some bolsters. If you don't have those, you can use books, you can use pillows, you can use anything that's around you. Not gonna lie, this is the third time I've tried to film this flow today. I've thankfully managed to ditch my demonic cat and dog. So, fingers crossed they don't turn up during this flow. But when you're ready, I will meet you on the mat to begin. So to start the flow today, we're going to come to lie all the way flat on the mat, but grabbing those blocks if you have them near, we're going to bring the feet together and allow those knees to come wide, moving into our butterfly legs. You can have them on this side, or maybe you find the space to have them on their, I was going to say belly, but I don't think that's the word, flat down. You can have them like this, or you can have them like this, or if you have the space today, you don't have to have them at all. And then all together, inhale, take those arms all the way overhead and allow those arms to hang heavy, beginning to open up this lower spine. So if this is uncomfortable for you with your arms here, you're more than welcome to bring them down by your side. But all together, take a nice deep inhale through the nose and slow exhale all the way out. 2 more times, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Before resuming your normal breathing here. Feeling every inhale through the nose and out the nose. And paying attention to your breath today, joining it on its journey through your body. Maybe recognizing if it's stuck up in your chest or if it's able to flow all the way to the base of the belly. Taking as much of a deep inhale as you need to. Don't want to push past that kind of block in the diaphragm to get it to the belly. And then slowly exhaling all the way out. So as we're looking at the hips, we're looking at the hamstrings, we're going to need our breath this afternoon, this evening, this morning, whenever you're doing this flow, to help us create space. And allowing ourselves to stay here for a few more moments. If your arms get a bit sore from being up over your head, you can bring them down by your side. So we'll be taking this flow nice and slowly, holding some deeper poses for a longer time to open up those hips, those hamstrings. So making good use of our breath, using it as our magic, our energy force. So staying in this particular pose for maybe 10 more breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. And without rushing, on your next exhale, if those hands are still overhead, you're going to release them down by your knees and bring them up together in the sky. Pop those blocks to one side for now and gently begin to windscreen wiper these knees from left to right. Beautiful. On your next inhale, stretch those legs all the way out. Take the arms overhead. Full body stretch. And then walk those feet and those hands all the way over to the left-hand side of your mat. Create beautiful space down the right-hand side. Inhale, come into the center, and exhale. Let's take this all the way over to the right-hand side. Inhale, come back to the center, and on your exhale, bend one knee, bend another into your chest. Finding a few rocks from side to side, massaging that lower spine before we come into our twist. So allow those knees to fall all the way over to the right-hand side and take a gaze over to the left. If you have the space today, you can bring your arms into a nice wide T shape here. And keeping the arms they are, you're going to inhale to allow those knees to come into the center. Exhale. Let's take it all the way over to the left-hand side. Inhale, those knees come back into the center, and taking hold of the tops of your knees, you can begin to make some circular motions, so rolling them in one direction, rolling it in another. Before we move to our modified happy baby, so if you have the full expression, you can take your hands on the outside of the feet, or you can follow me and come to the modified by taking those hands underneath the knees and gently opening them up to the sides. Ensuring you're pushing that lower spine to the floor. We don't want to create an arch here. We want to have that spine nice and flat. And then inhale, bring those knees together, take the legs all the way up to the sky, crossing the ankles, and rock yourself all the way up with one swift little rock into your comfortable seated position. From here, we're going to interlock the fingers behind the back, pop that chest open, inhale, and exhale, bring these right hands, all the hands, all the way over to the right hand side, guide that left ear over to the left hand side. Inhale to come into the center, take those hands all the way behind and pop the chest. And exhale, take it all the way over to the left hand side. Right ear comes to that right shoulder. Inhale, take it back, and then sweep those hands all the way up to the sky and find our twist on the left hand side. So right hand comes on this left knee. Keep that spine lovely and tall as you find your twist. On your next inhale, sweep those hands all the way up to the sky, and exhale, find your twist to the right hand side, so left hand comes on this right knee. And then inhale, hands come all the way up to the sky, open this chest. As you move those fingers as high as they can go, gaze on those thumbs. And then gently releasing them here. We're going to extend the left leg here, bringing this right foot into the left thigh. Move on to those sit bones. And if your right knee is high in the sky, you can just pop a block underneath it here to give it a bit of support, a bit of stability. But when you're ready, we're going to inhale to lift that chest, take the hands up. And on your exhale, pivot from the hips, create the space as you forward fold. And today we're not going to be taking hold of our feet or any part of our leg. We're going to bring those hands to the mat beside us. Inhale to look at those big toes. Exhale to forward fold. Using your breath here, allow it to take you a little bit deeper in this pose. Stay here for 3 more breaths, in through the nose and out through the nose, my loves. And then inhale to look at that big toe. And this time we're going to slide this left arm on the inside of the left leg and sweep the right arm up and over, open up the side body. Gently inhale to lift that body all the way up and switch legs. So bend the left leg, extend the right leg, and again take this block underneath the left knee as you need it. As we inhale, hands come high, and on our exhale, pivot from the hips and forward fold here. Recognizing if there's more space on one side than there is on the other. Stay here, 3 more breaths. And then inhale, look at that big toe. Exhale, let's slide the right hand all the way inside that right leg and sweep the left arm up and over. Open up the left hand side of the body. Inhale to gently raise the body up. I'm going to take away that block if you're using one. From here, sweep the left leg nice and wide here. Move on to those sit bones. Inhale, hands come nice and high. And exhale, forward fold here. So find out and take a look at how your forward fold is doing. And not taking hold of the feet, trying to force ourselves deeper. Just go with your breath. Pivoting from those hips to create space. Staying here for 5 more breaths, in through the nose and out through the nose. And then gently inhale to look forward. Exhale to raise the body up, bend those knees and bring them back together. Roll yourself into your tabletop position here. And moving through our upward dog and our child pose movement, you're going to take those hands an inch forward. And on your inhale, roll that body, drop the hips down, take your gaze nice and high. And then tuck those toes, exhale to child's pose, so drop those hips back to the heels. Inhale to roll forward, hips come down. And exhale, take them all the way back. So working through this movement with your own breath. Maybe finding what feels better to you, if it's an upward dog or if it's a child's pose. And you can have the toes tucked or untucked, completely depending what you search for. I have my toes tucked just because it's a nice stretch for the feet. Taking this a few more times. And then when you're ready, moving your body back to a neutral position. So slide those hands back. And I'm giving you the option here, it completely depends what you search for. If you want a more restorative pose today, you can come to your child's pose, so bringing those big toes together, sink the hips back to the heels and find your way to the floor. Or if you search for a deep hip opener, you can come to your frog pose. So from here, in your tabletop, you're going to move down to your forearms and then flexing the feet, begin to slide those legs out to the side. It's a much deeper pose than our child's pose, but keep those feet nice and flexed to protect the knees. And slide as far as you feel comfortable. This is my frog pose. It's not very deep as I'm not very good or have a lot of mobility in my hips. But wherever you are, staying there for a couple more breaths. And this is when we start to find that moving meditation. If you're in your frog pose, you're going to feel a very extreme form of the hip opener and a hamstring stretch. So keep in tune with your breath. Inhale through the nose and exhale out the nose. Five more breaths wherever you are. And then to move out of this pose, you're going to walk back onto your hands if you're in your frog pose. Bring those toes touch behind you and sink back to your child's pose. So bring those knees a little bit closer together. And all together we'll meet in our child's pose. And if your forehead is on the mat, you can roll it from side to side, or if you want to come a bit deeper, you can take that block in the in-between of the eyebrows, just above the bridge of the nose, and start to activate your third eye here. So pressing into that point between the eyebrows. Staying where we are for one more minute. Maybe with the block, maybe without. And to move out of this pose, we're going to move slowly by taking those hands all the way to the mat. Inhale to raise the body to your tabletop and grabbing hold of both blocks if you have them, or a couple of books. You're going to take them about shoulders width apart on the mat, bring the knees together, and you're going to step through with your right leg. From here, you're going to slide those blocks back as you inhale, look forwards, and exhale, lift those toes off the mat. Find your forward fold, so don't drop the hips all the way back. Keep them nice and high to the sky, using these blocks as a little bit of comfort as you inhale, look forwards. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale. And exhale, slide those blocks all the way forwards, bend into that front knee and come to a hip stretch. So allowing that hip to drop here, but keeping that knee always stacked, on top of the ankle. We never want to come over. We want to protect it here. So if you can see, knee stacked over the ankle. And you can lift the chest, it's available, maybe move on to the higher part of your blocks or your books to open the chest as you inhale. And exhale, 5 more breaths here, my darlings. On your next exhale, without rushing, you're going to press into the blocks to slide those hips back. One knee comes to meet the other, and immediately take the left leg forward. Again, you can stay high, or maybe move those blocks down. But inhale to look forwards. Exhale to lift those toes and slide that leg back, forward folding over the left leg this time. Keeping that foot nice and flexed here. Let's go a bit deeper. Inhale. And exhale to slide those blocks forward and move into this hip opener. Again, you can go deeper by moving onto those blocks to open up the heart. So walking that front foot forward if you find a bit more space to play with on this side, and find your pose. And find your pose. Remembering to keep that knee stuck on top of the ankle here. Keeping that breath nice and steady. 2 more breaths here. Inhale. And on your next exhale, no rushing. Gently press into those blocks to guide the hips back. Slide one knee to meet another. And from here, you're going to pop the blocks flat into the mat, taking hold of them with your hands. Tuck the toes. And move into your down dog here, beginning to pedal the legs. So bending one knee, bending another. So finding a bit of support in these blocks. If you don't have them, then don't worry. But beginning to pedal out these legs, really stretching those hamstrings. And maybe moving to kind of a flamingo type of stretch by bending that right knee, really pushing into that left heel. And maybe lifting that right toes all the way off the mat, holding it into your chest for 3 breaths. So for 1, 2, and 3. Drop the right foot to the mat, and then let's bend the left again. Take this bend on the other side, so this deep hamstring stretch for 1, for 2, And for 3 before pedaling out those legs once more. Giving those hips a wiggle, anything that feels good. When you're ready, you're going to bring your gaze all the way to the top of the mat and step those tippy toes all the way forwards. Inhale to look forward, straighten that back. Exhale, bend the knees, finding your big toes here. So using your yogi grip, your index finger, middle finger to take hold of the big toes. Inner wrists face each other as we inhale to look forwards. And exhale to forward fold, so bending those elbows to the side, pivoting a little bit of weight onto your tippy toes, but keeping the heels down, holding your forward fold for 5 breaths. For 4, and for 5, gently release these toes here as you inhale to look forwards. Exhale, plant the hands down, step back one leg, lower the knee, step back another. And we're going to bring those legs all the way forwards from here, moving to some twists. So there's only a short and simple little video to help you stretch your hips and hamstrings. It's been a request by a lot of my yoga students here down in Pembrokeshire. Sorry, got to sort out my fringe. For any of you who's trying to grow out your fringe, know that I feel your pain. Anyway, from here, move on to those sit bones as you hug the right knee nice and close to your body and take this right foot over to the left hand side. Hug it tight with the left arm and we're going to twist all the way to the right hand side. Inhale into the center and exhale, extend the right leg and let's make this twist to the other side. So hug this left knee nice and close with your right arm and twist to the left hand side. Inhale. And exhale to slide that left leg all the way back. Bring in those hips close to the heels. Rock the body all the way back to the mat. Hug these knees nice and close. And end in the practice as we began with our twist. So allow those knees to roll all the way to the right hand side and take your gaze to the left. If you have the space, arms come to those T-shape. And then keeping those arms they are, you're going to inhale, knees come to the center. Exhale, switch sides. Inhale, come back into the center and extend those legs all the way on the mat. Take those arms overhead, full body stretch here. And then relaxing down. So as this is not a usual kind of yoga flow we're doing today, it's just like a mini kind of stretch. You can choose whether or not to take your shavasana. So if you do, get yourself into the most comfortable pose you can. Maybe the block underneath your back for a fish pose or underneath your hips for a supported bridge. But I'm going to leave you here to make your choice, so Shavasana or no Shavasana, and giving thanks to you for joining me on the mat today with this happy hips little flow. I hope you find a bit more space, a bit more relaxation in your body after running, working out, sitting at a desk all day, anything really. And yeah, I hope to see you again soon, my loves.